Boo! 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 Brains. Probably should have done this episode when it was like closer to Halloween. So zombies are, everywhere in media nowadays. There's a TV show about them. It's a mode in Call of Duty. There's a Nerf gun, for Christ's sakes. Zombies are just part of the world nowadays. It is also one of the coolest story arcs in like all of DC Comics. For those who don't know, the Blackest Night is a storyline within DC Comics where there is a Black Lantern Corps, and all of its members are pretty much dead people, where all of the members are zombies of former allies and foes. When I read The Blackest Night years ago, I gotta be honest, I was memorized by how dark and brutal and honestly how far comics have gone recently. It also really brought out, the mythology of all the different Lantern Corps, which I think is very entertaining. And honestly, I know I'm not the only one that feels this way because they have a huge following. So in this video, I'm going to go over what I think the potential plot and roster would be if the Blackest Night actually came to Injustice 3. And with doing that would bring us the new big bad of Nekron. So first off, where is Nekron in the actual story? Well, he's never truly made an appearance. There are some brief dialogue intros with the Joker that mentioned his name, and there was some pretty epic skins back in Gods Among Us, but as of Injustice 2, he's yet to been properly introduced, which makes the next part so much more fun because I have a blank slate and I can think of whatever the hell I want to bring him into the storyline. So here we go. Assuming, of course, Batman won at the end of Injustice 2, you'll see Hal Jordan, Green Lantern, finding a Black Lantern ring while he is in pursuit of a random villain. His Green Lantern ring literally has no information on the ring, so he holds on to it for later. The mentioned villain tries to run away, but this leads to their demise. Falls off a building, triggers an explosive, I don't know, you think of some gruesome death. Well, Green Lantern assumes this person is now down or dead. However, the Black Lantern ring that he has jumps onto the finger and he has to go up against a zombified version of that villain. Being kind of freaked out by all of this, he decides to head to Oa to report his findings. He's then ambushed by Sor Niknatu and the rest of the Yellow Lanterns. After a quick scuffle, they say they're not here to fight. They actually need their aid. You then see a held captive, which is actually another Black Lantern, her father, Sinestro. When they finally reach Oa, the Guardians explain that the Blackest Night is upon us. Blah, blah, blah. Nekron is coming. We're all doomed unless the Lanterns, work all together. Then a call is sent out to all the different Lantern Corps to recruit and team up to stop the incoming threat. Since Earth is where the main invasion is happening, all the different Lantern Corps head there to start recruiting. Then you see this really dope cutscene of all the leaders of the different corps heading to Earth. I don't know. I have an image in my head. Let's move on. I'll go into more detail of why every character is going to be either with a different corps or not, but I will mention one in particular, and that is Kara, Supergirl. She is given a blue ring by Saint Walker, the Ring of Hope. However, Kara has been sneaking into the Phantom Zone to speak to Clark. She, having hope that Clark has changed, she lets him out to help fight Nekron. And this does not go well with everyone. And let the fighting begin. While all the infighting is happening, former allies and foes begin to rise from the dead. The teams put their differences aside to save the planet, and boom! We have a story. So, let's start talking about the roster and all the characters I'm 100% sure would return. First off, we're going to go with Superman. He's going to have no Lantern affiliation. His story arc will be actually kind of sad. Every corps refuses to work with him because of what he's done in the past. This will give him a little nudge to be a better type of Superman. Batman, also no Lantern affiliation. Why, you ask? Well, because he's a stubborn asshole. Wonder Woman will become a Yellow Lantern. Realizing she only scares people nowadays, she decides, let's own it. In the actual comics, she became a Star Sapphire. We are not doing that in this story. The Flash will also have no Lantern affiliation. However, he was going to be offered hope, which he actually had in the original comics, but refuses due to his past sins. Green Lantern, Hal Jordan, I mean, this one's kind of obvious. However, we will be bringing back some others through some skins. We'll talk about that later. Aquaman will have no Lantern affiliation and refuses to leave Atlantis because that's apparently the only story arc Injustice wants to do with Aquaman. Harley Quinn will join the Star Sapphires. She's turned a new leaf for her daughter. Green Arrow will also be offered to join the Star Sapphire because of his love for his child and Dinah, and he passes almost instantly. Black Canary will join the Indigo tribe, reluctantly, of course, most likely to save Oliver. Cyborg will be back with no affiliation to a Lantern Corps, but he is trying to do better. He's under observation by Batman. Saint Walker's third choice after the Flash refused, he decided to go with Jaime to join the Blue Lantern Corps. I only did this because I think it would be really funny to hear the Blue Lantern Blue Beetle. The whole idea of the story came around because of Supergirl. Saint Walker was actually excited to see Kara. She was meant to wear a blue ring because she embodies what hope is in its entirety. Also, Supergirl's my main. She gets to have it. I don't care. Now, let's move on to the returning cast, and there's quite a few of them. We're going to bring back Nightwing, and of course that is Damian. Damian's whole MO is being pissed off and angry. Rage has literally been Damian's MO since the inception of the character, and this will only follow suit. There isn't a better option for a Yellow Lantern than Scarecrow. Easy peasy, have it done. Hawkgirl will be back. No Lantern affiliation, however, she's one of the few allies to Wonder Woman and Superman still. Shazam will be back, and he will be a Black Lantern. One of the Risen, actually, and this would be a great story arc for Superman. The Joker will be back as a Black Lantern as well, one of the Risen, and this would be, of course, great for Batman and or Harley. Atrocitus will be back, and he's the leader of the Red Lantern Corps, so enough said there. Solomon Grundy will be back, and he's going to be a Black Lantern. Also, he's a zombie, and he needs to be in this regardless. Lex Luthor will come back as a Black Lantern. Once again, a great story arc for Superman. However, I was going to pick him as an Orange Lantern because that's who he was in the comic, but I picked someone else because, he's dead. Let's talk about all the new characters I picked as newcomers to Injustice. So first off, we have Mira. She is going to be a Red Lantern. She was in the original comic book series. So my thought process of this is she's just sick and tired of Arthur just being so isolated, and she takes the opportunity to take it out on Nekron. Done. Indigo 1 is the leader of the Indigo tribe, or the Indigo Lanterns, or the Indigo Corps. It's the tribe, whatever. She's the leader. Let's add her in. Next up, we have Larfleeze. Larfleeze is actually one of my most wanted characters in Injustice 3 in any Inception. I just want him so bad. But he is one of the only two Orange Lanterns you will see. He's not only the leader of the Orange Lantern Corps, but he does not want anyone else to have an Orange Lantern ring. And the other Orange Lantern ring will go to the Penguin. Penguin is another one of those characters I really want in Injustice, but I just think the dynamic of him being added would be hilarious. I could feel he could do a bunch of stuff with his umbrellas and stuff. I just think it would be a really cool character, and that's all I got to say. Next up is Deadman, or Dick Grayson, who's Deadman currently in the Injustice series. He is going to be protecting his body from all the Black Lantern rings, and a Green Lantern ring shows up and says, you know what, this is going to work, and it goes on his finger. It's comics, I don't care, I'm going to make this work. Dick Grayson's my favorite superhero. It's going to happen. Next up, we have Star Sapphire. She's the leader of the Star Sapphires, another part of one of the cores. That's all I got to say. A fan favorite that I know everyone wants, we're going to have Beast Boy. He's a fan favorite, and I just wanted to throw him in. Sora Niknatu, the leader of the Yellow Lantern Corps, Sinestro's daughter. I want her to take the spot as the main character. Will probably be a skin for Sinestro, of course, in her place. I wanted to add some type of context to show that there's been some things going on in the world before all this, so I decided to go with a random villain, and I decided to go with Livewire. I wanted Supergirl to have some growth since the last game. And Livewire has kind of become one of Supergirl's main nemesis, even though it's more of like a rivalry at this point. I think Livewire is a good choice because she clearly doesn't want to become a zombie. Instead of actually fighting Supergirl, she decides, you know what, I'm going to team up with you right now to defeat the bad guys. And I think it'd be a cool little story. I also like Livewire as a character, so there we go. And of course, we have Nekron, the big bad. And not much to say here. I think we don't need to have the big bad as a playable character. I just think it's a fun idea. So there we go. Now, before we get out of here, I also want to talk about a few skins for each character. So I think we should bring in Kid Flash for the Flash. I also want Punchline, which is the Joker's new sidekick ever since Harley kind of just went off and did her own thing. I also would like Speedy for Green Arrow. I also would like to see a zombie Oliver, because he's actually dead in this universe, and the other Oliver is who knows where. I would like to see a zombie form of Tim Drake and a regular form of Tim Drake to mirror Nightwing's character. I would like a zombie Hawkman for Hawkgirl. Sinestro, of course, for his daughter Sornik. And, of course, a normal form for Beast Boy, because, good lord, if you didn't do that, people would lose their minds. I get that this story is very unlikely, and I know it's very heavy when it comes to all the Lantern Corps, but still, I think it's a really cool idea. Tell me what you guys think. Tell me who you would like to see added if Nekron was the big bad. Do you even want Nekron as the big bad? Let me know in the comments below. For those who don't know, I stream on Twitch every Sunday. I play Injustice 2 almost exclusively, so come and hang out. All my social links are in the description below. And if you guys like the video today, please leave a like and subscribe. It really goes a long way. But other than that, my name is Phil, and of course, I'll talk to you guys soon.